Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As I promised a long time ago, today I'll be showing you my first LEGO army, especially the Dragonborn Paladin army. But before we start, I want to thank you for the positive feedback that I got on the previous videos. You guys are truly amazing. Now, let's see today's army. I have to mention the fact that this is not an official LEGO army, so I will call them Duragon's Order. In my LEGO Castle medieval world, I see them as an religious knightly order with the characteristics of the Teutonic Knights from history. If you don't know, the Teutonic Knights were a religious knightly order, exactly how I described Duragon's order. And I have to mention that the Teutonic order was an inspiration for today's army. This army has four branches: a contingent of crossbowmen, a contingent of cavalry, and a contingent of infantry. And the infantry is based on two groups: the swordsmen and the heavy men-at-arms. Let's get started on the crossbowmen. I chose crossbowmen because in the medieval times, crossbowmen were much more expensive than the archers. The crossbow had much less training time than a bow. So, the higher tier armies and the more expensive ones used crossbowmen because they did much more damage, they were more expensive, but they were less time consuming in training. For my crossbowmen, I used 2012 castle torsos with kettle helms and crossbows, obviously, because the color schemes mix up very well with the crest on the Dragonborn Paladin's shield. I like the way they look and how they turned out to be, but obviously every regiment of an army needs to be led by a commander. So, for the commander of this crossbowman regiment, I used the Dragonborn Paladin without the chest piece, to which I added a brown satchel, and for his weapons I added a short sword and obviously a crossbow. So this is the crossbowman regiment. The second regiment is the men-at-arms. The men-at-arms you see on the screen are based on the mountain blade units. They use two-handed weapons and represent the shock troopers of the army. They are mostly used in charges and in flanking. And they are super easy to make. All you gotta do is you take the armor piece and you can put it over every torso you want and you'll get a man-at-arms. That's how I made them. I've given them all sorts of weaponry to make them more diverse. And for their commander, I used torso and the legs from Nearly Beheaded Nick from the Harry Potter CMF series, to which I added some shoulder guards, a Rohan helmet because it looks very cool, and a hammer. So yeah, those are the men-at-arms. The next regiment is the infantry. Now the infantry is a bit underdeveloped because of lack of parts, but I hope in the future I would develop their stage and make them even more appealing in looks and in design. But now they use the basic torso and legs from the Dragonborn Paladin with swords, shields and helmets. I'd also like to add some shoulder guards to them and make a contingent of footmen and a contingent of spearmen. Their commander looks very good and I like how it turned out. I like the combination of the hair color and the face print, and these two spearmen are his personal guard. I like to make more of these spearmen because these spearmen will represent the more common soldiers in this army. Overall, the infantry is a bit underdeveloped, but there is still more room for improvement. And the last regiment is the cavalry. The idea of cavalry came very late when I found some horses in my collection, and I thought, how about adding some men-at-arms on horses to make heavy cavalry? So that's what I did. In the future, I would like to expand the cavalry corps, even make a scouts regiment or something. I don't know exactly, but I just want to expand this a little bit more. The cavalry look amazing with the armor from the Dragonborn Paladin. I gave him some halberds, some helmets, and of course some horses. But as I said, this cavalry corps is still in his incipient stage. So let's move on. Now these last minifigures that I made, I don't know what to do with them actually, but let me know in the comments what you prefer. I have an idea to make them squires or a lesser infantry, but I don't know exactly. I made them from pieces that I tried to incorporate in other parts of this army, but I wasn't decided. So I think I'll make some militia or some lesser infantry or even some squires for our knights. As their parts, I used the Lego castle torsos, some random legs which I found in my bin, some peasant hoods that I hope Lego will produce in the future because this piece is absolutely gorgeous on medieval minifigures, I added them some short swords and even a dog to accompany them. And of course, their supreme leader is the Dragonborn Paladin. The Dragonborn Paladin is the one that will command them in battle and help them raise their morale when situations are tough and the battlefield is bloody. And what makes him special is that he is the descendant of Duragan. It is said that Duragan was a god who came on the battlefield to help humanity and the other pure races against the Dark Lord, but he perished in battle. His son has built this order to help the weak and fight the dark forces. The document that makes their presence felt in the realm is this diploma. The diploma says, "Us the knights, us the protectors, us the followers of Duragan, want to bring peace through strength and justice. Us the followers want to bring the faith of our guide to the people with no protection, arming the strong, aiding the weak." This is how the followers of Duragan prove their existence and their motives. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the future, I would make more army builds and lore incorporated videos. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Before you leave, I'd like you to leave a like, share this video, and most importantly, subscribe, because these things help me a lot to grow our community. And until next time, I wish you all a good morning, a good night, and a good day. See you soon.